everybody that's here. Isabella and Belle. Thank you for tuning in this afternoon's live. If you see the thumbnail and the title, we're going to be talking about John Morant saying goodbye and Danae Jackson finally speaking, well, publicly. So, if you didn't know, this I believe this was this morning, sometime this morning. John Morant posted on his IG story. He posted on his IG story. Hold on. Something's in my mouth. He posted on his IG story. The first one says, "Love your ma." He had a picture of him in the front, and then his mother sitting in the back. And then he said, "Love your pops." The next slide, next story, whatever they call it. The next story was, he said, "Love your pops," and he was hugging his father. Kind of weird picture to pick, because it's like, I guess the dad just came up and hugged him and he didn't get a chance to react. And the third one, no, the third one was saying, he said that his daughter is the bestest, the greatest. And the last one was bye. So a lot of people were like, what's going on? What's going on? Why he posted something like that? Because that shows like he gonna do something to himself. So I guess people were alarmed. I don't know who reached out to the police department to do a welfare check on him. So they went to do a welfare check on him. Come to find out, according to him, that's what I guess the sheriff then released a statement, and he was like, he's just taking a break off of social media. But why do that? I love your mom, love you pops. It's like he gonna commit. This month is mental health awareness month, and usually people who, not all the time, people who do stuff like that, that means they're gonna take themselves out. I mean, I would understand him saying, due to the decisions that I have made in the past few months, and I have been reflecting on my the decisions that I made and the consequences that are coming my way. I have decided to take a break from social media. That would have made more sense. But the way he did it, in a sense, people say it's a cry for help. I'm going to look at it at all angles. It could be clout chasing, because to keep people talking about him, because we're living in the age, a lot of these young people, they get off on social media clout. They going viral, they have their name trending. That gives them, because that gives you all the likes and the views, that gives you those dopamine and serotonin releases. So some people, even though they know they're going to get criticized, but to see that name trending and see people talking about them, it's worth it. So that he had everybody a frenzy. And then he didn't even have to say a statement. He could have just go off social media, and take whatever he's doing opposite from what he did last time, because obviously whatever he did last time, it ain't work, because he ain't learned nothing. And then, if we're looking at it, if it is a cry for help, a cry for help, then hopefully the people around him, the people who are in his vicinity, get him the help that he needs. You know, whatever help that he needs, get him the help that he needs. But the way he went about doing it, posting those stuff, and then he said bye, like literally he finished. People probably thought that he finished posted that, and then he took some pills. He liked to play with blickies, so people probably think, okay, he probably used the blicky and took all. It was a lot of stuff going on. But supposedly he's okay. He's just taking a break. I don't know how long the break is gonna be. I hope he really get the help that it's not even get the help. Some stuff, I don't think he needs any help. He just needs to he just needs to make better decisions. Knowing that when I make certain decisions, certain stuff I decide to do, it has consequences. I have a lot of people watching me. Anything that I do, it go viral because he's such a talented young man. He have a lot of eyes on him. He has a lot of eyes on him. So any little thing that he do, whether it's good or bad, but specifically bad, it's gonna spread like wildfire. So he just need he in reality he really needs to just make better decisions. I mean, what help can you really, because he's older. He's like 20 something. Yes, his brain is informed all the way, but he needs to make better decisions. He needs to think before he does anything. Anything he's gonna do, say, okay, I have all these kids. Even if it's I have all these kids watching me, would this be good? Would this be a good move? That's basically it. So he doesn't. It's not that he needs to go and get help and stuff like that. No, he needs to just make better decisions. Be a better role model. Cause he has a lot. I said in the other line, he has all races of people that look up to him. All races, from black, white, Hispanic, all kind of people look up to this young man. So the stuff that he's doing doesn't even make any sense at all. So he said bye, but it's not bye like, you know, it's over. Hopefully it's not. And if it is, God forbid, that's where resiliency comes from, you know, because you people telling him, because even like I tell you, I think he is resilient because remember his dad, when his dad was training him, his dad would always, you know, tell him, you what you did didn't don't impress me. His dad would always come with something negative. So even with the decisions that he makes, with all the negative backlash that he gets, it does nothing for him because he's so used to that. He's very used to that. So all the people that, you know, talking about him, say he's a moron and whatever the different things that people are saying, that just like slides off of him because he's used to hearing things like that. So all he see people that are saying stuff like that as haters. So that does nothing for him. But I just want him to make better decisions because he's a very talented young man. I mean, he should be able to retire like a Michael Jordan, even though those people didn't get caught up in the foolishness all the foolishness that he did. Yeah, hopefully, right? But come on, I think everybody would like for him to see that, you know, he started off on the wrong track, and then he made a conscious decision, and he was convicted with that decision. Some people make a decision, but they're not convicted that I'm going to stick to that decision. That's where people go wrong. It's not only making the decision, oh, I've decided to change my life. I decided to stop talking smack. I've decided to stop taking blickies in a strip club. I've decided to stop cheating on my wife. I've decided to do this. But you have to be convicted in your decision. I'm convicted. I have decided to do that, and I'm convicted. I'm going to stick to what I have decided. That's where people go wrong. Not only decide, you have to be convicted in what you have decided to do. So that's all I had to say on that part. So now we're gonna jump into Danae Jaxn, Derek Jaxn ex-wife. Not sure if their divorce is finalized yet. But if you don't know, so Derek Jaxn, he is still, because he's still doing videos. He was like a, let's say, a relationship guru, expert, whatever he called himself. He did call himself like an expert or guru. But he more was, his target audience were single women. probably in particularly black women. And then he would be giving them different advice, what to look for in a man and different things like that. And then he got caught up, not got caught up, but one of his mistresses went to Tasha K, who is a YouTuber, and she, spilled the beans, spilled the beans. Well, she said she told them what they was doing. So everybody was shocked, you know, because he came out as a like a saint, like the perfect man, basically. So Derek Jackson came out as the perfect man and was like bashing all the other men. He was on top, and then come to find out that he was cheating on his wife. So he lost a lot of followers, but not a whole lot, to tear him down. He still have women, a lot of women that follow him. Mostly because some people are loyal. If they rock with you, even if you do something that's not good, that's not morally good, they still gonna stick with you because they like you. And some people because they like you too. If they didn't like you, they would have just be done with you. So some people stick with him because they're loyal. Other people, hoping maybe I could be this other woman. Maybe he'll choose me. You never know. Whatever. And other people, they forgive him. He's human. He's allowed to make mistakes, even if it's over and over and over again. But he's allowed to make mistakes. So some people forgave him for that. But whatever. And that drama played out on social media. She was the bonnet, what they call her, the bonnet Warren wife, because one time she had came on, she was putting curses on people, whoever was talking about her and her husband and stuff like that. And then when the scandal had first came out, there was a post of her saying that she would, I guess she would, I don't know if she had a camera in the house, and then it would film Derek Jackson cheating escapades, and she would say that she was seeing him in the act, and she would see the person's bodily secretions. And supposedly in this podcast, she went on this podcast, whatever she went on the podcast, but the podcast came out today talking about this. That's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about the first part because it looked like they're doing a part 1 and 2. So I watched the part 1. And so she went on their wifey's podcast. So after he got caught not caught the first time, but when the mistress came out, she was warring and she was having prayers and doing all kind of stuff. It would look like she was losing her mind, child. And then they supposedly rekindle, and then after that, he announced that they were getting divorced. But I think he announced that they were getting divorced, and then they found out he was with this lady in Miami. I don't know that, child. This stuff been going, too much foolishness going on in this relationship. But anyway, he announced that they was getting a divorce. And you basically barely heard from her. Like how she was, up on social media doing all them stuff. You barely heard from her. I think you barely heard from her. But then he was liking posts that saying, you ever look at somebody you love, and then now you look at them and discuss. And so, child, that man is a mess, child. But anyway, so now she went on this podcast and she was telling her truth or whatever, and people, they because the guy made her talk from when they first met and to up until they got married and when the scandal happened. But then she was saying that he was like the jock, the nice looking jock. On my page I have a short, and in that short I have a picture of when he was in college. I think that was college because that's when they met. Where they met. That man did not look like the stereotypical jock look that they show you on movies and stuff. Maybe in her eyes, she was fine and looking dandy. I didn't see that. Somewhere on this, I think the thumbnail is like her in a bonnet. That's what YouTube picked. I didn't pick that. I didn't pick that as the thumbnail. YouTube be shady. Some of these, I mean, sometimes when I do shorts, because you don't get to pick the thumbnail, YouTube get to pick the thumbnail. The algorithm or whatever gets to pick the thumbnail. As sometimes the, I guess it looks at what's the content in the short. Yeah, that's what YouTube be doing. And then if the thumbnail would be like, oh my goodness, YouTube shady. YouTube be shady. I'm telling you, YouTube is shady. Especially when you're doing shorts, you see how shady YouTube is. So I think the thumbnail is her in this white shirt and tights with a bonnet. That's the short I'm talking about. That man did not have no stereotypical job. He started looking like something when he started making those videos catering to women, because if you're telling people what they want to hear and they like you're gonna go up. Okay, you're gonna go up. Nothing gonna stop you. So that's when he started doing his thing. So the guy asked her, so that's what she was saying, that he was fine, whatever. So anyway, the relationship was a disaster from the beginning, even up to when they was getting married. That was a train wreck getting ready to happen. I mean, this guy was been cheating. This guy was been dogging her out, and then it took 9 years for him to finally realize, like, oh, I want to be with Delia. She is the one that I want to be with. And that's when he got married to her. All while cheating. Because I know some people are gonna say, oh, I was together with my husband for 10, 15 years. He never cheated on me, we're still together. Okay, you guys are the exception. Happy? So it took 9 years for her, and then she was no, she already had her first child. She already had her first child, and then the relationship was a disaster from the beginning. And then she talked about how she was taken advantage of. When she went to somebody's home, her parents were teen parents. Her parents were teen parents, and her father passed away at a very young age. And then after she was taken advantage of at like around the age of 19, that's when she met Derek Jaxn, child. And she was supposed to be tutoring her because she was very smart and insecure. And this young lady don't have had no self-esteem, period. And he probably read that off of her. He probably saw that she didn't have no self-esteem, because the stuff that she put up with, you you can't tell me you 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 had some type of self-esteem, or your worth. The things she would be leaving his, finish having relations with him, and then somebody else walking in as she was leaving. She knew that. She knew this Sharon comes in at 8, so she comes in at 6 o'clock to get her, vitamin D dysfunction. And she probably dealt with it because she didn't think she could do any better anyway. She didn't think she could do better. So, and it was there's places she, she blamed herself, she owes certain stuff she could did better, whatever it may be, blah, 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 blah. I don't know, child. I, mm, I have doubts about certain stuff. We knew he was going to do a rebrand. Let's go look at it. We knew he was going to do a rebrand, right? Because I know even though he didn't lose all of his subscribers, followers, but he lost a good chunk of the it, and it hit his pockets. So we knew he had to do a rebrand, but he really never did a rebrand. He kind of just jump in like, yeah, he did apology with her and stuff like that, but he just kind of jump in like nothing ever happened. But what if the rebrand is through his wife? Through all of this, you never know. What if the rebrand may be through his wife? Because with this interview, their wifey interview, even if it's like 2 hours, 3 hours, she gave a little bit of different things that's going to keep people intrigued. And if she were to start like a podcast or YouTube channel, people will tune in. So maybe because everybody was trying to figure out, how he's going to rebrand himself, maybe his rebrand is through his wife. Because I find it a very thing because she could have just tell us her story on her own podcast. But if she just started, you know, like that, it might have taken time to take off. But if I go on a bigger platform and then I give people, little bits here and there, little bits here and there, and then I'll grow faster, quicker. I'll grow bigger, quicker. So think about it. That's my opinion. So maybe his rebrand, all this back and forth, saying they getting divorced and stuff like that. That could be that rebrand right there. Still keeping the money. Because if not that, people were saying, if it's not that, people were saying, oh, she classy and stuff like that, because she says she's a Christian, but in a sense, telling all your business. You still telling all your business because a lot of these stuff that she was saying, nobody even knew about those things that he was doing, that he was getting into. So, in a sense, if she is not the rebrand, if that's not the route that he's trying to rebrand himself, you hurt that man pockets even more, because now it's like, what, you been was cheating on this girl? This lady love you. She stood up for you, and then she held everything in. And then even though she spewed out because she kept doing stuff in and she spewed out at the wrong times. You have been hurting this lady. You a dog. That's going to hurt his brand even more. And I heard I was listening to Tony Gaskin's side of perspective, and he was saying that could put her in harm's way. Because you going after this man, clearly something is wrong with him. Like he just love attention and power and stuff like that. So now putting your business out there. This may affect his pockets and his projects and stuff like that. That could put her in harm's way. Because if it's not the rebrand, then it could be that. And not only put her in harm's way, like only physically, but stick it to her. Make it try to get full custody of the kids. Try to do little things. Show up every other month with a different woman, and while he picking up the kids. Yeah, that is scary. So if it's not that, if the rebrand is not what they're doing, this may not turn out well for her. And a lot of people, I understand people, could relate to her. People feel sorry. People feel sympathy. But people need to learn from this story. 9 years being with you, that's wasted that's not even 9 years, because they was been together. They was already together 9 years. Then he decided to marry her, I think like in 2018. So, 2018, and like 7 more years. So almost 16, 17 years of your life, of the lady life. She, in a sense, yeah, they had kids, came out of that, but come on, could have had kids with somebody else. This guy really never was feeling her. He probably saw something that he could capitalize off of her, but he was really because she was saying there was on and off, and on and in on and off relationships, when a person is off with you, they on with somebody else, or they trying to get on with somebody else, and then when that don't work out, then they come back to you, then they do it again, then they do it again. This on and off relationship, love is not on and off. When a person loves you, want to be with you, they're going to be with you, even though y'all, have problems, have issues. Yeah, we're going to be mad for a day or two, maybe a week, but then we come back together. We're not going to go back over months and stuff like that. Months and don't make sense. So yeah, that relationship was a disaster. So that was the first part. She was basically talking about, them meeting up in college, him still cheating in college, her still watching him and stuff like that, her still watching him, still watching him do his thing. And then she talked about, she has gotten therapy. She had 3 therapists at a point in time, trying to find out the perfect, the good one. She went through PTSD and different things like that. But is she really delivered? Because since she says she's a Christian, is she really delivered? Because this whole debacle started 2 years ago. Has she really healed? You know, has she really healed where she is suitable for the master's work? Because you should be a vessel of honor where God can use you for other people. But has she really healed? Or this may all be their rebrand tactic. Because as she's talked many about the Word of God, she talked about getting therapy. But if as a Christian, it's not only being in the Word of God, but also fasting and praying and having people pray for you, intercede for you to get that healing from the time of her being rejected from her father, seeing different things going on, that thing that happened to her when she was 18, when she was taken advantage of, all the stuff that this guy put her through, and other things that she probably didn't even mention. All those stuff leave marks in your life, and then they affect your behavior, whether right away or later on in life. So that was part one when she went to this thingum, and people saying, "Oh, that's going to destroy his brand." Maybe their tactics, because if they're not together anymore, right? This is because I don't even agree with her going and put their business out there. Just talk about you. Yes, the stuff that you went through and stuff like that, and you bettering yourself. We don't even talk about that, because that's trauma and stuff like that. When you truly heal, and there's a way that you can teach a lesson from what you went through to help others, the best revenge at getting at somebody like that, if that's what she was intended to do. She lost weight. You see how nice she looked now. Build your own brand better than him, because I'm sure a lot of people are going to support her way more than they supported him, and show him that, yeah, you thought I was going to be done, and I was going to be nothing without you. Look what God has done. Look what God has done. That would be the best way. But me, I'm still sticking with the rebrand tactic. Until I see otherwise, I thinking this is Derek Jackson's rebrand tactic. That's how I see it. That's the best way to go about it. All this back and forth and stuff like that, and then little, you know, every few months put something in the media and stuff like that. That's probably going to bring them more income than before. So this could be the rebrand tactic. I think that's what it is. I'm going to stick with that. So anyway, because they could say that they divorced but still together, because they've been doing that. Because supposedly even before in college they wasn't together, but they was together. So this is nothing new. They're used to doing stuff like that. Used to not being together but still together. So anyway, that's all I had to say. What?
Nothing.
that's all I had to say on this topic. Thank you for everybody that was watching. Thank you for everybody that's gonna tune in. Ain't nothing wrong with John Morant. John Morant's fine, and Danae Jackson speaks. There's gonna be a part two. I guess they're gonna drop it tomorrow. So I don't know. I'll make a part two. Who knows? But thank you for watching. I'll see you in another live or video. Bye.